What is up, and welcome back to Talk Nutrition. Today is a very special episode, episode 147, where I will be sharing with you our massive giveaway that we're currently doing. This will be a shorter episode because I kind of want you to just take action and jump on this opportunity. And it's even crazy to say for me, to be honest with you, because it's huge and we don't do these kind of things a lot. But I am giving away 6 months of nutrition coaching, 6 months of individualized nutrition training, lifestyle, all that good stuff. You're going to go through our 12-week course. You're going to get access to our private community and our own app. Like I said, it's kind of crazy for me to mention this, like giving away 6 months of coaching. I kind of feel like Santa in June. But you can now get that chance by going to my Instagram. I'll make sure to link that below the show notes. I mean, you're going to see a quick description of the episode. And right there, you'll see my Instagram link. It's blowing up already. We have a lot of people jump on this. It's only day one. And we are running this through June 26th. So you have a lot of opportunities to jump on this. But what I will say, there's going to be a process of me going through the applications, because I also want you to tell me why you should win. Because like I said, I feel like Santa, but I want to make sure that the right person gets the opportunity to change their lives, right? That person is also someone who's willing to do the work. And if you're listening, you're like, hey, I've been paying attention and, I've been following the podcast and I downloaded maybe the ebook and I've been following along to Instagram and whatever it may be. This is your chance. This is your chance to win 6 months of nutrition coaching with Odyssey Coaching Systems. Go to my Instagram. You can keep listening to the episode because we will be jumping in a few other things, but you can keep listening, right? And you just go to my Instagram. All you got to do, the pinned post, comment win, and then tag a friend. That's all you got to do. And I will message you to confirm. Why are we doing this? I want to celebrate 4 years of starting this company, right, in 2020, having helped hundreds of people all over the world reach their goals, change their life. We really see people do a 180 from being sometimes almost depressed, dealing with a lot of anxiety, insecurities, not being able to lose the weight, even though they've tried all the diets. They've tried all the diets out there, the crash diets, the ketos, the carnivores, intermittent fasting, and usually, which is kind of sad, but it's a very common thing, usually people come to us after having done many failed diets, right? They come to us after, right, other programs where, yes, they've been coached, but that was with a meal plan, and guess what? They come to us because they still don't know what to do. And then we help them become autonomous. That is my goal for you. We're not trying to keep you forever. That's not our goal. We're trying to empower you to do this thing by yourself because no one will have a coach forever. That's just a reality. So that's why it's our responsibility to share with you exactly what we do, exactly how these kind of things work, to empower you once again to do this by yourself. Because who wants to really be dependent on these kind of things? I don't, and I don't want you to be either. Now, I will say this needs to be mentioned. The accountability, the guidance, etc., the mentorship that you get by getting coached one-on-one is, in my opinion, the secret to really getting to that point. And we have a lot of people stay 1-2 years plus for that reason. They like the accountability, they like the team effort, and they know that the accountability, the guidance is what keeps them in check. Every week you check in with our coaches, right? That allows you to stay on point, but also troubleshoot. Because what this is not is, here's your strict plan, right? And you just go and figure it out. No, like, yes, you're going to get your nutrition and your guidelines, and we're going to dive into sleep and stress management. We're going to, push you, but also allow you to recharge every now and then. Your training programs, those kind of things. That is what you get. But on top of that, we need to look at how are we sticking to it, because here's the reality. Life doesn't follow a plan. So we need to also troubleshoot along the way. Also make sure that when things come up, you become resourceful and you create that skill of, hey, bump in the road. Okay, what will I do? You will fail many times, but that's part of the learning process. So people online will make it sound like their plan is perfect. This diet plan, right? This fat burning workout, which by the way is not a thing, but okay. Yet the actual secret lies into you trying to stick to the plan, right, in quotes, and then making those little hiccups along the way, sometimes running into a full-blown roadblock where you're going to have to work through this obstacle, right? That's where it lies. That's where growth happens. So we have a bit of an ambitious mission, I would say, but it's also still realistic because it's our mission to fight the global health crisis, one person at a time. And that one person at a time, right? That's what makes it realistic. Just how if you're trying to lose your 10 kilos or 20 pounds, whatever it is, that sounds like big and ambitious. And you're like, oh shit, can I do this? But what if we say we just focus on that first one, that first kilo or pound? All of a sudden, it becomes doable because we strive to break the mold and go beyond the conventional macro meal plan, coaching programs out there. We really help people, who've tried it all, like reclaim control of their health and fitness. Like I said, like that's my goal for you. Like I want you to be in charge, not us. Of course, we're going to help you, right? We're going to guide you. But I want you to be that person who's able to respond to setbacks, who's able to manage their nutrition. Yes, when you track and weigh your food and stuff, when you go to the gym, when things are easy when you're at home, right? But also when you're on the go, because we know it works. We have our approach, our systems, which, by the way, systems, right, is not a special protocol diet, whatever. No, it's the basics. But we structure it so that you can walk through those basics, make sense of it, and repeatedly, right, create results. That is our goal. I want to get you to optimal health. And like I said, it's my responsibility also to share the methods that we know work, because we've seen it with many, many people, hundreds of people by now, all over the world. The world's getting sicker. The world's getting more overweight. Still, that's a problem. That's why I want to help one person at a time get healthy. And with a giveaway, you can actually win that for free. So if you haven't yet, go to my Instagram. Again, it's in the show notes. Apply now. Literally, all you got to do is comment win and then tag a friend. Again, you're crazy to not jump on this if you don't. Because we see a future, right, where health and fitness coaching is that person or that party like in between you and a doctor, let's say. The coaching stands at the forefront of personal health care. That's not to say, hey, don't go to the doctor. No. But we're trying to prevent you from having to go by dialing in your nutrition, your lifestyle, without the misleading supplement schemes that you still see these days, without the fad diets. And by the way, too, right? Sometimes you go to the doctor and they're like, well, you should lose 20 pounds or 10 kilos. It's like, yeah, okay, but how? You're struggling with issues, but you're not educated. You don't get that guidance. That's where the coach can help you figure this out. As your educator, the support system. That support system is key. And we want to simplify nutrition and provide a sustainable, repeatable solution that ultimately puts you back in control, like I said, because we have our systems, our protocols, right? You'll be going through our 12-week Odyssey course, where we dive into anything from building meals to mastering your mindset, your sleep routines, your stress management, your movement in general, your training, social settings. I mean, literally like everything I could think of that I'm like, okay, someone's going through their personal fitness journey. What will they run into, right? I turned all of that into a 12-week course for you so that you, one step at a time, can get to that place where, hey, I've learned about this. I know how to do this. Hey, if this happens, I know what to do then. And during that course, you're also going to learn how to become that person who's in control. So that's one. You're going to go through that course, touching on everything you need to know. You're also going to go through the OCS framework, which is our framework, which once again, it is basic. The things that we actually do, right, is not some secret protocol. We know what the basics do and how they work. And you can find these things online as well. That's not it. But it's a structured way of having a preseason, an in-season, and a post-season, or as we like to call it, your optimize your routines, right? That's our first phase where we just dial things in first before even jumping into fat loss and stuff. Are you actually ready? Are you consistent? Or are we all over the place with our nutrition and we're maybe, right, unable to stick to our nutrition over the weekends? And anytime we go on a trip, we overeat. We tend to drink too much, whatever it may be. Let's dial that in first. And that's why we do that first. Not for any magic reasons. It's just to get you consistent so that we know once you go into your transformation, you're going to be able to actually stick to the plan. And a lot of people try to do the same thing, but then also go into fat loss and then also do the muscle gain, or they think they can do both, They also want to run the marathon, right? all these kind of things all at once. And that's what happens with the New Year's resolution. And that's why people can't stick to it. It becomes too much. So by first dialing it in, you get ready to actually stick to it. And then you go into your transformation where we really just hold you accountable. And through, a fat loss phase or maybe muscle gain followed by fat loss, you get to really see the results from your hard work pay off. And it's really a rinse and repeat season, to be honest with you. It's really a period of, hey, we know how to now be consistent. Now it's about actually doing the thing consistently and just troubleshooting along the way. And then, of course, our third phase, right? So we've optimized your routines. The second phase, by the way, that's create your reality. That's where we achieve that muscle gain goal, that fat loss goal. But what's the most difficult part for most people? It's not losing the weight. It's not building the muscle. It's maintaining what you've achieved. A lot of times people will go into a nutrition program or a training program, whatever it is, and they are done with the 8 weeks or whatever it is, sometimes maybe longer, right? And then they stop. Guess what happens? Now we go back to what we were doing before, which usually leads to you going right back to where you started. We want to avoid that. So our third phase, sustain your results, is totally focused on that. It's feeding your body up, getting you to your maintenance calories, really making sure we do that in a controlled fashion, because we know a lot of people struggle with weight regain. We don't. We go back up, we fuel your training, we nourish the body, giving you lots of micronutrients, and we really rely on the habits that we've been creating. And that's also where you can kind of chill. So yes, we do things like macro tracking and stuff, and we go hard when it's that transformation phase. Is also called like our get shit done phase. Like we really want you to stick to it as much as you can, and we'll help you there. But then in that third phase, now we can take our foot off the gas, right? Now we go to maintenance, now we kind of chill. You have more flexibility. And you know what's nice too? We can step away from tracking, because I don't want you to be reliant on tracking either, you see? So that's all part of the plan, to eventually do without tracking. So that's why in that phase, we can move you away from that. In the meantime, throughout this whole process, right? Because it's way more of like an over encompassing like idea or principle, because your journey is going to be different than anyone else's. So the actual fat loss phases, reverse diets, maintenance, muscle gain is going to be, right? The length, I should say, is going to be dependent on your goals. But by going through, again, your pre-season, your in-season, and your post, you can make sense of all of this stuff and then continue, because guess what? Hey, now I have a new goal. I've lost all the weight. Now I want to, build some muscle. Awesome. So what do? We've been cruising at maintenance for a little bit. We go right back to that first phase. We optimize your routines to really just make sure, hey, we dial things in a little bit more. We see what needs work, because there's always going to be some work that needs to be done to get right back, into those optimal routines. And then we can move into your next transformation. And then afterwards, we do it again. We go into more like a health-focused phase where you maintain your results. And just like that, you have a system that you'll only learn, by the way, by actually walking through it, right? Proactively, learning from the course that's going to move alongside of that. That is how you learn a system you can apply for life. Now, this is only going to really work if you fully pay attention. You really are proactive, you're resourceful. But I'm very confident in saying that, because I've based this whole system as well as the course on a decade of my personal fitness journey, right? I started with a 30 kilo weight loss journey, which I talked about last week, having helped hundreds of people from in their 20s to 60 plus, right? Men, women, all people who made it happen. A lot of people who thought they couldn't reach their goals, who are now in a place where they actually reach that plus more, and they're able to do it on their own. That is where I want you to be as well. That's my ultimate goal for you. I'm here, my team is here to help you reach your goals. But then, of course, also make sure that you know how to maintain that and continue to build on your results for life, basically. Because again, no one's going to have a coach forever. So let me help you get to that place. You can now win 6 months of nutrition coaching with us. All you got to do, go to my Instagram, comment on that pinned post, win, you tag a friend. That's all you got to do. Like I said, it was going to be a shorter episode today. I just really wanted to share the big news. I wanted to share why we're doing this. And I want to share my philosophy around nutrition that I hope you get to enjoy as well, because I know it works. If you're ready to do the work, we can help you. Sounds good? Go out to my Instagram. I'll talk to you on Thursday.